Hi there. Today's story is about a righteous man. He was rich, then he wasn't. He was healthy, then he got boils, then he got boils. The story of Job. In the land of Uz, there lived a man named Job. He was wealthy, he was religious, he had 10 children. Everything in his life was going well, too well. This made him a target. What follows is a long story about suffering. It has speeches, it has questions, it has a lot of silence. And in the end, Job gets some of his stuff back. If stories like this speak to you or give you something to think about, feel free to like, share, and subscribe. But only if it truly brings you value. Let me know where you're watching from. I'd love to hear your thoughts. This is the book of Job. It is in the Bible. Let's begin. Job had it all. Job was described as blameless and upright. He feared God and avoided evil. This was considered a good thing. He had 7,000 sheep, 3,000 camels, 500 pairs of oxen, 500 donkeys, and many servants. He also had 7 sons and 3 daughters. They liked to feast a lot. After each round of feasting, Job would offer sacrifices, just in case someone sinned while celebrating. He was cautious like that. It was his full-time job, being righteous. A conversation in heaven. One day in heaven, God was holding a meeting. Satan showed up. He had been wandering around the earth, which was apparently something he did often. God asked him if he had noticed Job. Satan said yes. He also said Job only obeyed God because he was rich and protected. God disagreed, then allowed Satan to test Job, but not to touch him physically. This was the beginning of Job's problems. He had no idea. Bad news arrives. In one day, Job received 4 messages, each one worse than the last. Message 1, the Sabians stole his oxen and donkeys. The servants were killed. Message 2, fire from heaven burned all his sheep and more servants. Message 3, the Chaldeans stole his camels, more servants died. Message 4, a wind blew down the house where his children were feasting. All 10 children died. All of this happened within a few moments. Job's response? He tore his robe, shaved his head, and fell to the ground. Then he worshipped. Yes, worshipped. He said, "Naked I came, naked I return. The Lord gave, the Lord has taken away. Blessed be the name of the Lord." This is considered one of the most famous responses to tragedy in the Bible. It was also the calmest. Round 2. Another meeting happened in heaven. God said Job was still faithful. Satan said that was because Job's body was still fine. God allowed Satan to attack Job physically, but not kill him. Job was struck with painful boils from head to toe. He sat in ashes and scraped himself with a piece of pottery. This is not medical advice. His wife told him to curse God and die. He declined. Instead, he asked, "Should we accept good from God and not trouble?" This is considered a rhetorical question. The friends arrive. 3 friends heard about Job's condition. They traveled from different places. Their names were Eliphaz, Bildad, and Zophar. When they saw Job, they did not recognize him. They wept. They sat with him in silence for 7 days. Eventually, Job spoke. He wished he had never been born. This launched a series of speeches, very long speeches. Each friend had a theory. Their theories were not very helpful. Eliphaz believed Job must have sinned. Bildad agreed. Zophar thought Job actually deserved worse. Job disagreed with all of them. He still believed in God, but he wanted answers. He did not get any. Enter Elihu. After many chapters of debate, a new voice appeared. His name was Elihu. He was younger, so he waited. Then he spoke, a lot. He said Job was too focused on justifying himself. He also said the friends were wrong about God. He talked about dreams, storms, and God's greatness. He was not interrupted. No one responded to Elihu, because right after he spoke, God arrived. God speaks. God spoke from a whirlwind. He did not explain Job's suffering. Instead, he asked questions, a lot of questions. Where were you when I laid the foundations of the earth? Can you command the morning? Do you give the horse its strength? Can you catch Leviathan with a hook? Job answered with, I am unworthy. I spoke once, I won't again. Then later, I have heard of you, but now I see you. I repent. This was considered the correct response. God accepted it. Restoration. God was angry with the 3 friends. He told them to offer sacrifices. Job had to pray for them. They did. He did. God restored Job's fortunes twice as much as before. He got more livestock, 7 more sons, 3 more daughters. His new daughters were the most beautiful in the land. Their names were Jemimah, Keziah, and Karen Happuch. No one knows what happened to the old daughters. They died in the house collapse. Job lived 140 more years. He saw 4 generations. Then he died, full of days. The story of Job contains 42 chapters. Most of them are speeches. There is a lot of repetition, and many metaphors about animals, wind, and death. But the main point is this: suffering does not always mean guilt. Faith can exist without explanation. And sometimes, even when life falls apart, people keep trusting God. That's what Job did. He lost everything, then got most of it back. Eventually, he died, as everyone does. Thank you for watching. If this made you feel something, consider liking the video. This has been A Very Unfortunate Man, the Story of Job. Goodbye.